So starting with the desk, and this was made for me by a friend that owns a furniture shop nearby, and I got it cut to the size I wanted, and from there I just sanded it down and stained this myself to get this look, and it's been great using this so far. I just transferred the legs from my old desk onto this, and this is what I've been using ever since. I wanted to get that walnut look, but I think I went pretty close. It looks great, and I'm happy with the work I did on this tabletop for sure. So the monitor I'm using is this 29-inch ultra wide from LG, and I bought this monitor a while back, and from ever since I haven't upgraded to any other monitor so far, and I think it's time to give this a change. And I'm thinking about getting a 4K monitor as my main editing monitor, just because the colors on this is not accurate enough when editing and trying to get the colors right in my footage. It's just not the best when it comes to those things. So you want to consider getting something more accurate depending on what you're using it to do. But if you're playing some games and other stuff, this works just fine. You don't have to worry about that, and this does support HDR10 as well with 99% sRGB color gamut, and the screen resolution on this is 2560 by 1080p Full HD. But for now, this is my main monitor, and I'm looking to get something better very soon. And the main brain for all this here is my 2020 MacBook Air, and this is what I use to edit all my pictures and videos with. I've had this computer for quite some time, and it's definitely showing its age, but I still get most of what I want to do done, but it's very slow sometimes, especially when I'm editing in Final Cut Pro with all those 4K footage. It's just not keeping up, so I have to edit straight from my T5 SSD, but for now, this is what I use as my main editing machine. For my desktop speakers, I'm using the Creative Pebble V2, and this little thing packs a punch, and that's the reason why I haven't upgraded my speakers, because I think this works pretty well. It's small and compact, and it doesn't take up much space on my desk. It has a knob where you can control the volume to your liking, and this does not have Bluetooth. That's the only downside to this speaker. But when I want more bass and Bluetooth connectivity, I use this D-Voom speaker here, which also tells the time and can transition through a lot of different effects. And I also have my Stream Deck here, which I haven't used for quite some time now, but it's just sitting here. The keyboard I've been loving and using so far is the Keychron V2. I had the RK61 before, but ever since I got this keyboard, I haven't felt the need to get another, because this feels so good typing on. And I got the brown K Pro switches, which sound very nice, and I paired this up with this orange coil cable, which does nothing than just give your keyboard a cool look to it. And everyone seems to be using this in their setup as well, and I highly recommend this if you're into mechanical keyboard. It's just something you have to add a part of your setup, and having a wrist rest just save your wrist from getting carpal tunnel syndrome. If you're a person that types a lot, trust me, you're going to need one of this, because wrist pain is not something cool. I've been there, so I know what that feels like. And my mouse of choice is the Logitech MX Master 2S. This is the best ergonomic mouse I've ever used, and I don't think I would ever use another mouse anytime soon, because this just works and feels perfect in my hands. And when I'm doing any meetings or video calls on my computer, I use the Elgato Facecam as my webcam of choice. This is a 1080p prime lens, which looks pretty decent in the right lighting. It's not the best, but it does get the job done for me, and I highly recommend this if you want to upgrade from your computer webcam to something more high in quality. And to keep my devices charged, I use this wireless charger from Nomad, which is called the Base Station. Whenever I'm at my desk, I just put my phone on this and it charges wirelessly. It's not the fastest, but my phone do get some juice from leaving it on here for about 45 minutes. So when it comes to lighting my workspace, I have a few lights I use, and the first one I use is this screen bar from Besus, and it works pretty well. All it does is light up my desk and prevent my eyes from straining when I'm staring at the monitor for a very long time. It's very convenient to have a desk lamp on your desk, especially when it can change color temperature like this one does. You can cycle through 3 color modes and use the one that best suits your needs. I use this a lot when I'm working late at night, and it's best to have these to prevent your eyes from straining while looking at the monitor screen for hours. So I highly recommend this, and it also gives your setup a cool look as well. Behind my monitor, I have the Govee Flow Plus, which just illuminates the back of my monitor to also prevent eye strain as well. And having lights behind your monitor just give your desk setup a whole new vibe. I usually have LED strips behind here, but for some reason they never tend to stick well, so I got this instead, which works perfect. You can also use the Govee app to control the lights to your liking, add cool effects, and also cycle through the community tab to see what others have created. And I also link this to my Amazon Alexa as well, so I can control these lights with my voice if I don't want to manually turn off the lights myself. And I think I'll be adding a bunch more of Govee products, because because they are reasonably priced and their products are always reliable and cool as well. I will link all the things I use for them down in the description of this video so you can check them out for yourself. I use these lights from a company called Color Lights and they're super awesome. Even though it took a very long time for these lights to work with the app, at one point I even thought I would never be able to control these lights with my phone or Alexa, but I finally got them working. And they look pretty decent, a very budget option for Nano Leaf if you don't want to spend those crazy money on those. These are some cheaper options, but bear in mind these don't come as close as what you would get with Nano Leaf or Life X. But if you don't care about the minor issues these have, they should just work perfect for you. I have no problem using them so far and I definitely recommend them if you're on a budget. Everything I have on my desk plugs straight into this dock here, and this is the StarTech Thunderbolt 3 dock, which is what power all the accessories I have on my desk. This has most of the ports I need, and the main thing I love about this dock is the SD card slot. This is just a lifesaver when I just want to dump all my footage from my SD card onto my computer without any hassle. This is just right at my fingertips here, and I highly recommend something like this in any deck setup. I tried to make my space as comfortable as possible, so I had this beautiful iPhone 4S frame I got from Grid Studio on my wall, and it just gave the space a techie feeling knowing the iPhone 4S is one of the best iPhone ever made. And I also have this fake plant here to add a little greenery to the space. I'm trying to get real plants soon because I like taking care of plants. And I also have this pegboard from IKEA, and here is where I keep all my cables and camera equipment when I'm not using them, and my tech backpack as well. And this is my best friend, a part of my setup, and his name is Charmander. I just love having this little fella here to keep my company when I'm all alone. Seeing my space transform throughout the years have definitely inspired me to keep going. Most of what I have a part of my setup I didn't acquire it overnight, and it takes a lot of planning to get your space as how you would really want it to be. And here is where I relax my mind and get work done. Let's be honest, we spend at least 70% of our time around our desk as content creators, always editing and making content, and I try to make the best use of what I have a part of my setup. Seeing other people's setup really inspired me to make my own as well and gather ideas and thoughts, and that's how I keep things together, because I just like a simple and clean workspace. And to keep all the cables clean under my desk, I use these reusable velcro ties I got from Amazon, and they are fairly cheap as well. I spent about $10 for a set of 200, so I have a lot can use to manage all the cables under my desk and to keep everything organized. A well cable managed desk is the best part of any deck setup. Just to see no cable showing on the ground or beneath your desk just improve your overall aesthetics of your workspace and a clean look. I think I may get some cable raceway to finish off the cables underneath here, even though it's not really bad, but the raceway would actually hide the cables a lot better and to make everything look a lot cleaner. Alright guys, I'm sweating like hell. I know underneath my desk is not perfect, but I think the cable ties and the cable clip work, so I'm gonna actually use these for now until I can get the cable raceways to like make under here as much clean as possible. But I think this get the job done, and yeah, it's not perfect and I'm kind of happy with it how it stay right now, but I will definitely be getting some cable raceway when I'm doing my desk setup upgrade and all that stuff, so make sure you're subscribed for that. So yeah, this is basically it and I'm pretty pleased with it. So I didn't actually explain what these are on the wall here. So these are Elgato Wave panels, and these are like sponge, like acoustic, that's supposed to treat the room or absorb sound. These are sound treatment, and I have like 6 of them on the wall here to treat the room. These actually work, but I wouldn't recommend spending $100 on these because you could get something way less and they all do the same thing. So don't just go ahead and burning all your money on sponges. You can use something that's way cheaper and they all do the same thing. So basically I have these here to just treat the room like when I'm doing voiceovers and all that stuff.
Shawty, I know you gon' hate me. I'm finna whip a Mercedes, bet I be driving you crazy. Got this shit out of the gutter, did it for me and my brothers. Loving the way that you hate me, baby, it's feeling amazing. I'm feeling amazing, but I got pain.